What's up, guys? So let's talk about the inghams. So it looks like we are seeing what we're definitely seeing is the downfall of the inghams channel. Now, I will say this without a shadow of a doubt. Nobody else is to blame for the downfall of the inghams channel. The inghams only have, Chris and Sarah only have themselves to blame for the fact that their channel is, basically falling apart. You think about the fact that, it's gone from a channel that was earning, well over 100,000 views per day to a channel that's now only getting sort of 20 to 30,000 views per day. And it's sad really to think that, if you think about it, a channel that they pride themselves on the fact that their channel has over 1.3 million subscribers and all that stuff. But there's no denying the fact that a channel that has over 1.3 million subscribers should be getting way more views than it is actually per video than it's actually getting. Because when you think about it, I mean, there's so many other, channels out there that have a similar amount of subscribers to what the inghams have and are actually bringing in more views. And it's kind of not hard to see why. I mean, you look at, people like Dads v Girls, Family Fizz. Their channels have a similar amount of subscribers to what the inghams have, and they're getting more views than what the inghams have. And it's kind of funny when you think about the fact that there are actually channels out there that ultimately have less subscribers than the inghams, but they're actually getting more views than the inghams. It's kind of, somewhat hilarious to think about. But I think there's a lot of a list of reasons for the inghams and the downfall of their channel. So the first one is the way that they speak to people and the way that they respond to negative comments. I've called them out many times for this, and I've said that the way they respond to negative comments is uncalled for and unnecessary, and that there's a better way. And I've always said that there's a better way for them to respond to negative comments, and they shouldn't respond to them, in the way that they do. So the second point is, which kind of relates to the first point, and it's them taking offence to comments that they shouldn't necessarily be taking offence to. Now, this was something I actually spoke about in a video not the other week. I was saying that, Sarah had taken offence to a comment on TikTok that she shouldn't have taken offence to. Someone had basically said I look better without makeup, and Sarah had taken offence to that comment and had basically accused that person of trying to judge the way I looked. Then there was one, she posted a TikTok video, I think it was not yesterday, the day before. It was Chris, she was filming Chris standing outside the house in the snow, and he had Aurora in his arms, and Aurora had no coat on. Now, someone posted a comment on that video saying, and all they said was Aurora should be wearing a coat, which quite rightly she should have been wearing a coat. And Sarah basically snapped back at that person, telling them to mind their own business. Now, yeah, again, she's taking offence to a comment that she shouldn't really probably have taken offence to, because that person wasn't who said that Aurora should have been wearing a coat. Wasn't really wrong, because Aurora should have been wearing a coat. There's no doubt about that, It's called responsible parenting, which is not something that Chris and Sarah know anything about. So the next thing, and I think this is the big reason number 3, is constantly moaning. It is them constantly moaning and acting so entitled. Now, this is something we see quite often in their vlogs now, is them moaning about something and kind of acting extremely entitled. It's like that's all they do now. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So number 4 is the constant daily clickbaiting. Now, this is another problem. It feels like every vlog they put out now is just a massive clickbait. And that is why they're struggling to pull in any views, because people are not going to watch a vlog that's basically a massive clickbait. some people actually have the common sense to realise that the vlog is a massive clickbait and they will not watch it purely for that reason. It's like you look at Family Fears and Dad v Girls. The one thing I can say for them is they don't really clickbait stuff that much. And it's like they don't. The problem with Dad v Girls and Family Fears is that they don't really have a reason to be clickbaiting stuff because their channel is doing well. It's getting decent. They've lots of their videos are getting decent views. And people actually enjoy their videos, so they have no reason to be clickbaiting anything, in particular. But with the inghams, it's a completely different matter, and I just think that the fact that they're clickbaiting so much these days shows the level of desperation with them, and I think that, that's all they're really proving is just how desperate they are, the fact that every vlog they put out is just a massive clickbait. And number 5, and I would say this is probably the biggest point and the biggest issue with them, is the constant bragging and showing off. It just feels like every day now they just brag and showing off like every single day. That's all it feels like. That's all we see is Sarah and Chris constantly, relentlessly bragging and showing off about something. They're the sort of people who always feel the need to brag and show off about something. It's like they're not happy unless they're bragging and showing off about something. That's a big part of it, and the whole bragging thing is a big part of the reason why I sort of stopped watching Family Fears. I know they're doing well because, I still check out their videos, from time to time, but I don't watch every video they upload now. I feel like I stopped watching them all the time because I just got fed up with the way, because it felt like it sort of gotten to the point now where all you're seeing on the Family Feast channel is them basically bragging and showing off. And I can't stand people who always feel the need to brag and show off about something. It's very hard for me to respect people like that. It's very hard for me to, for me to actually have respect for a person who always feels the need to kind of brag and show off about something. There was a kid like that. I had a kid like that in my school. Back when I was in secondary school. He was someone who always felt the need to kind of brag and show off about something, and it used to drive me up the wall. And there were days where, he was bragging and showing off so much that I just wanted to punch him in the face because it was so annoying. And with the inghams, they have gotten, extremely annoying now, the constant daily bragging and showing off. I just wish that, I'd love to see someone give them a smack in the mouth, because I don't think they brag and show off too much then. It's like, you look at that, whenever it's one of his birthdays and Christmas, like the one thing they get criticised for is going so over the top. But there's a reason they go so over the top. They go so over the top because they're, purely because they're trying to brag and show off. That's the problem with people like Chris and Sarah. They only really see his birthdays and Christmas as an opportunity for them to kind of brag and show off. It has to be said, I think this is one of the biggest causes of their channel's downfall, is constant bragging and showing off, because again, people don't watch their vlogs to, watch them bragging and showing off all the time. That's not what people want to see. People don't want to see someone bragging and showing off about what they've brought and how much money they've spent or whatever, But it feels like that's all we're really seeing these days. Is them constantly bragging and showing off about what they've brought or how much money they've spent or this, that and the other, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know what to say. It's just gotten unbelievable. When you look at the inghams, let's say for 5-6 years ago, it feels like they didn't really used to brag and show off that much, to be fair. But now it feels like, the bragging and showing off is basically like a daily thing now. It's like it feels like every time they upload a vlog, it's like they're bragging and showing off about something. And they're also exaggerating their vlog titles as well. So yesterday's vlog was titled, something about them being back at home after a month. I don't think they've actually been away from their house for a month. I think it's only been about 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks, something like that. It's not actually been a full month. So I think they need to do the maths. That's what I can say. What really I don't understand is why every time they return home, we always have to see their reactions to returning home. Like, it's just a bit odd, it's just a bit weird that, the fact that there always has to be reactions to something. Like, that seems to be a regular thing with them. Like, there always has to be reactions to something. It's like every time they return home, we've always got to see their reactions to that, and I don't quite understand why we always need to see their reactions to them returning home. It's like something we've seen 10 times before now, and it's not that thrilling anymore to watch all these massive over-the-top kind of fake reactions to them returning home. You can tell, this is the problem, you can tell these days that a lot of the reactions are fake, to say the least. It is what it is, I mean, it's like, it feels like all Sarah does on TikTok, most of her TikTok videos are just her bragging and showing off about something, like showing off, bragging and showing off about what she's brought and all that. It's just relentless, but it's just a relentless bragging and showing off that is really, I think, hitting their channel off. That and the daily clickbaiting, I think, are the two major issues with them at the moment. I mean, I don't feel like Dad v Girls. I don't feel like they sort of brag and show off too much. I mean, maybe they do from time to time, but I don't feel like they brag and show off as much as anyone else. Again, with the fact, I mean, I feel like family fizz are pretty bad when it comes to bragging and showing off, and I feel like the inghams are pretty bad for that as well. It's just, as I said, like, I can't stand people like that who always feel the need to, brag and show off about something. I feel they have to, they always have to brag and show off about something. People like that are very unlikable people. It's very hard to actually like people like that because, it's like, why would you like someone like that? Why would you want to be associated with someone like that? Why would you want to respect, somebody who's always bragging and showing off, practically every single day? No one's going to respect them for that, It's like, why would people respect them when they don't respect others? The amount of times they've filmed other people in their vlogs and shown other people in their vlogs, filmed other people's kids as well. I've seen them doing that quite a lot, filming other people's kids, it's like, there you go. And, they can't expect people to respect them when they don't respect others. It's like, you see what, as I mentioned, Sarah has been known to jump on people's comments on TikTok for no reason. Like the other week, as I mentioned, when someone made a comment about Isla looking better without makeup on, Sarah took offence to that comment, which she didn't need to, basically. I mean, it's just, a really kind of nightmare. They're just becoming an absolute nightmare these days, and it's the bragging and showing off that is the worst thing about the inghams and the worst thing about their channel. It just feels like it's every day now, like they're bragging and showing off about something. It feels like they're, as I said towards the start of the video, they're the sort of people who are not happy unless they're bragging and showing off about something. And the iFam actually had the cheat to claim that I brag and show off a lot. I don't brag and show off. At the end of the day, I have no reason to brag, to want to brag or show off about anything. You know, I certainly don't brag and show off as much, you know, as badly as they do. You know, they're the worst ones for it, you know. And it's like, deny it all they want, you know, which they obviously will. They'll always say, oh, well, we don't brag and, you know, we never brag and show off. But actually, you do. You know, it feels like it feels like they're doing that every single day now. They're just bragging and showing off about something, you know, and it's just gone beyond a joke, and it's just making their vlogs that little bit less enjoyable, because I feel like if they weren't bragging and showing off so much, their vlogs would maybe be a little bit more enjoyable. But it's like, how can they expect people to like their vlogs when all they're doing is bragging and showing off every day, or, you know, or hitbait something? You know, people are not gonna like them or respect them and hitbaiting them and hitbaiting stuff and constantly bragging and showing off every single day. You know, that's gonna drive a lot, and it has driven a lot of people away. You know, it's caused a lot of people to stop watching. You know, and I mean, obviously, you've still got those people that hate watch them, like myself, of course, and I need to maybe stop watching them, and I would advise other people to stop hate watching them as well. You know, because I think the more people that stop hate watching them, we'll probably see quite a sharp decrease in their views. But I do think their view counts are made up of a lot of hate watchers. I think that there's a lot of hate watchers that are kind of contributing to their view counts, I guess, and it's probably best not to contribute to their view, their view counts in any way, you know. There's people like that. I mean, as I said, it's very hard to respect people like them. Like, I want to respect people like them, but it's like, why would I respect two people that are constantly bragging and showing off practically every single day now? I don't gonna respect people like that. You know, it's not gonna happen. That's just the way it is. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you for another one probably this afternoon. Bye bye, guys.